Construction and preservation.
The Villas of Autumn Bend, that was a HUD housing project, and they applied for funds for HUD. When I'm thinking about other apartment complexes in Blue Springs, they're not HUD projects.
Right.
They're normal
Right.
apartment
They're
units. So,
approved.
so it's a different thing than Meadow Ridge was, because Meadow Ridge was a HUD housing
But
development.
they did not get HUD funding
That's correct.
They
to,
use,
to update that. They have HUD, they have Section 8 vouchers that their residents use.
Yes.
So
but
they get reimbursed for
For,
the rent for those tenants.
no, what I'm trying to
But
say.
that's the only way that HUD is involved.
Right, what I'm saying is, that was a different type of development than other apartment buildings that we have in Blue Springs. That was different, that was Section 8, that was HUD. Is this kind of assistance gonna be
Yes.
available to just a normal
Yes.
multifamily
Yeah.
development?
Yes, that's what we're saying.
Was-
It just
was-
happened to be the example of
It
Blue
was-
Springs
was a HUD,
is HUD housing.
but it
Mu-
doesn't,
Must meet a demonstrated affordable housing need, provide housing for low, moderate income persons and families.
Mhm.
And a lot of rental housing does qualify in that regard.
Understood.
Yeah.
I guess I don't,
That's correct.
if it's out there anyways, what is it? We're just bringing it to public view that they can use this vehicle to,
Right.
Right.
and our intent is to modernize existing multifamily. Now, if they want to use it for new and stuff, I mean, we can't control that anyways.
Well, in order to use it for new,
I
that,
guess we just, as I said, what is the mission and purpose? What was this subcommittee formed for?
New.
But if you're going to change, if we're changing the new development, which we've done, or doing, what are we gonna do to try to help out existing structures?
That's where it
As I
is.
said, I don't have any problem with revitalization of existing structures.
that's where this funding comes in. This
So
one.
what you're saying is that you could not find any cities that do revitalization and encouraging revitalization on their own?
No, it is fed and it is state funded. Cities,
I mean, you don't wanna get into the city coffers
Meet
to,
Federal
No,
regulation
no, I was thinking
and
tax breaks, I
oversight.
was thinking,
so we also have tax breaks that we can use. There's Missouri Affordable Housing Program Assistance. There is also Low Income Housing Tax Credit Program. And that's what I have found through the state.
So
Of
there's-
what, so there's options that can be used through the state. There's a total of 4 options that can be used through the state. Now, with respect to first-time home buyers, again, it is not a city-run thing. This is through the state, it's also through HUD. It's a bit better. Especially when it comes to, they have their own recommended loan places. They have their own down payment assistant programs, ones that are especially for rural areas only. And they have the American Dream Down Payment Initiative Program. But again, this is, we're talking HUD, we're talking state, we're talking USDA. That's where the.
So when you see like Independence Housing Authority programs like that, they're funded through, for example, home funds, which are HUD funds, which at this point, City of Blue Springs is not eligible for. We're not at that stage yet to be eligible for home funds because of a lot of this is, again, because of the income qualifications of the community, of the census tracts that the federal government utilizes. So we can access CDBG funds, but Independence has more census tracts and more population that is lower income, and they
Right.
can access those additional level of HUD funds.
There's this great program called the Missouri Affordable Housing Assistant Program, which you can use, but they do look at what they call distressed communities. And I did check in with census, and nowhere in Blue Springs do we have what's considered to be a distressed community that would apply for these funds.
that's a good thing.
that's a good thing,
Yeah.
We're
great
happy
thing.
about
Right, right.
Yeah.
That's, I guess that's the
Well,
plus to us finding this, is that we're not
Right.
in the
This
federal
is-
hopper
this
for a
is
lot of
good.
money because we have a lot of problems.
That's
Yeah.
good, that's good. Paige, thank you for all your work on this and
You're
putting this
welcome.
together, and I'm gonna read this more carefully
Okay.
when I get home.
Yeah, and-
Email me if you have any
Yes.
more questions.
Yeah, if you'd like to synthesize differently or put together a
No,
different format,
we
we can
can
certainly
go
put it
relook at
together.
it. I'm looking at my checklist here. The field trip is going to be 3 o'clock
Yes.
next Thursday, meet in here. The laundry list, I'll go ahead and get that compiled, missing loose ends that we need to tie into the ordinances. I think I've thought of everything, but I think there might be a few more things that we had talked about we wanted to have included. The open space, we have done, the design standards, we have included the public and fire safety suggestions. The one thing, the recommended length of time for the moratorium, Mr. McDonald is going to have ready to be drafted an extension of the moratorium on the 18th meeting where we're doing a presentation, because one of our recommendations is to have meetings with the developers for input, public hearings for the public, and that's gonna take some time, and the moratorium is over midnight on the 18th. I have talked this over with staff. We were kind of talking about what kind of a time frame we were recommending. We're thinking that for the city to do it the right way, to have time to have this go through the public hearings, the planning commission, the public hearings, the city council, and have the developers workshop, we would need probably to give the city council 60 to 90 days. So right now, we need to kind of make a decision. My thought is, if we give them 90 days and they can get it done in 60 days, that's great. But the city council had discussed with us that if we got it done shorter, that we could. 90 days, as we're finding, is been pretty tight, and we've had to add and have double the meetings we thought we would. I probably am more comfortable with going with the 90 days, just because that'll give them enough time, and if they get the workshops done, but we want this to be done right, and we want to make sure that we get input from, everyone who's affected by this, because whatever we present to the city council is just a, working piece of documentation. I mean, this is going to be changed from what we present to what the end result is. So I need to get a consensus from the committee on what we want to recommend, 60 days, 90 days.
I just hate to push that another 90 days.
I do too, but we want to make sure we do this the right
Oh, I
way,
agree on that.
and we get input.
I think you're gonna find the developing community is going to move pretty quickly as possible.
So you think that 60 days it can be done?
Yeah, I just hate to run out
60
another 90 days. It's really pushing.
All right, we'll go with 60 days.
For a few days.
And the quantity control ordinance, I talked to Mr. McDonald, our city attorney, he does not want us, he's basically going to give us a letter saying, no, don't. So that will be in our presentation to the city council. Remember, he came up with the Palermo case, and he says it's not anywhere near Blue Springs, and so we don't need to have to worry about that, because Bob McDonald is basically, as the city attorney, making the recommendation, no. And that's really all we wanted to do. We wanted, the thing is, that's gonna be the first question that's asked of this committee when we do our presentation, so we need to have an answer whether that's something we can do or can't do, so,
Took 90 days to get that.
yes. So that's where we're on that. I think we've answered everything. So we will be meeting next Thursday, and then Cheryl, you're gonna have to do the public notices for the 12th, which is added as a meeting, and then we'll have our final meeting on the 16th with PowerPoint presentation, a rough draft of it, and then staff, will work on the final presentation for the 18th at the council meeting. So we got all the dates
We'll
there,
find
Sherry?
out this first thing this week.
Okay. Now, we are not going to list the specific locations on that notice?
Bob McDonald said you didn't have to do that. He said just say, make sure and state the city where the tour is going to be. And- No, that's what I was told, because I called and said, how much does Cheryl need to put in?
But we're gonna.
You going by the Amley one?
Yeah, the two family ones, New Longview and Summit Ridge.
Okay.
Are you going by,
Arbor Walk has
Arbor Walk?
gondolas. I think, you mentioned Arbor Walk, I think, before, so.
And I will not be there because I will be in Chicago, my mom's having surgery, but if you can give me the list, I'll do it on my
Yeah,
own.
we're gonna formalize this and nail it down, I think, first thing next week.
Okay, great. Well, thank you, everybody. You guys are working very hard. I appreciate you coming to the
Oh,
extra
yeah.
meeting. I'm sorry.
And,
Probably would have been, starting, no.